Welcome to the second annual Florida Community College Brain Bowl from the WMFE TV studios in Orlando. Hello, I'm Bob Zienta. The Florida Community College Activities Association, in cooperation with the State Department of Education, is sponsoring a series of statewide academic competitions for students in public two-year colleges throughout Florida. Today, from Orlando, it's the state finals sponsored by Valencia Community College. Teams from Florida Junior College at Jacksonville, Lake Sumter Community College, Miami-Dade Community College, North Florida Junior College, and St. Petersburg Junior College have won their regional competitions and now have completed the state playoffs. The winners, St. Petersburg Junior College and Florida Junior College at Jacksonville, will now compete to determine which team will be the 1983 Brain Bowl champions. There are financial rewards at stake for the schools and the individual students in this Brain Bowl competition, which we will explain more fully during intermission today. But first, let's read the rules and get on with the competition. There are two 20-minute halves with a 10-minute timeout between halves. Each team has 4 players plus an alternate, and each team has a designated captain. To answer a toss-up question, a player must press the button in front of him. This locks out all the other players. I will then call on that person to answer the question. Questions will consist of a toss-up question worth 10 points, and any player from either team is eligible to answer the toss-up question. A team member may not confer with teammates when answering toss-up questions. A player must buzz within 5 seconds after I have asked the question. He may interrupt during the reading of the question if he so chooses. If the player who buzzes is unable to correctly answer the question, 5 points will be deducted from his team's score. The second team is then given the opportunity to answer the question correctly. The team that answers the toss-up question is then eligible to answer the bonus question, worth a total of no more than 20 points. The team captain will answer bonus questions after a 5-second conference with other team members. No question will be repeated. All the questions, which have been prepared by the participating colleges, have been derived from the humanities, the natural sciences, mathematics, and the social studies. Neither team has prior knowledge of the questions. We have 3 judges with us today, 1 to judge the accuracy of the answers and to ensure the rules of the game are properly enforced, 1 to act as scorekeeper, and 1 to act as timer. And now let's meet our teams for the 1983 Brain Bowl Championship. From St. Petersburg Junior College, we have Terrence Gariano, Bryan Paul Hopper, team captain Robin Moseley, and David Carson. From Florida Junior College at Jacksonville, we have David Silva, Frank Perry, team captain Walter Cavender, and Jim Freels. Good luck to both of you. The clock begins with the first question. Timekeeper, are we ready? Ready. Here we go with your first question, round 1. Good luck, teams. For 10 points, a toss-up. What word associated with politics am I defining? A process of drawing district boundaries during... Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Gerrymandering?
Gerrymander is correct. Here we go with a bonus question for your first part and 10 points. Who is the term named after?
Elbridge Gerry?
That is correct. For another possible 10, what state was Governor Gerry governor of?
Massachusetts.
That is correct. You got 20 points on the bonus. Here we go with another toss-up question for 10 teams. Good luck. What is the name of the law of physics that expresses the relationship between electric current, electromotive... Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Coulomb's law?
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question for Florida Junior College. What is the name of the law of physics that expresses the relationship between electric current, electromotive force, and the resistance of electrical conductors? Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Ohm's law?
Ohm's law is correct. Here's your bonus first part for 10. What is the name for the chemically active gas O3?
Ozone.
That is correct. For 10 more possible. Released by spray cans, these chemical compounds are thought to destroy the ozone layer above the Earth's surface. What are these compounds?
Hydrocarbons.
That is incorrect. Fluorocarbons. You got 10 points on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. He became president by 1 electoral vote. When he served in Congress, he supported Reconstruction. But when he became president, he withdrew all federal troops from the South and ended... Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Hayes?
Hayes is correct for the toss-up, and here's your bonus for 20 points. George Washington was our first president. Name presidents 2, 3, 4, and 5 in order.
John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, and James Monroe.
That is correct for 20 points on your bonus. Here we go with the 10-point toss-up. Early explorers called the island Taprobane, meaning copper-colored. The Arabs called it Serendip. The British called it Ceylon. Yes, Robin from St. Petersburg.
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka is correct for the toss-up, and here's your bonus. Give me the current name for these one-time European colonies. First, for 10 points, the Belgian Congo.
Zaire.
Zaire is correct for 10 more possible. German East Africa.
Tanganyika.
That is incorrect. Tanzania. So you got 10 points on the bonus. Here we go with another 10-point toss-up. Ernest Hemingway received both a Nobel Prize and a Pulitzer Prize after publishing what novel? Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
The Old Man in the Sea?
That is correct for the toss-up, and here's your bonus for 10 points, your first part. Because of his poor eyesight, Hemingway volunteered for what type of duty in World War I?
Ambulance Corps?
That is correct for 10. For 10 more. Poor for many years, Hemingway achieved financial success with what novel published in 1929?
Farewell to Arms?
That is correct. You got 20 points on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 teams. This celestial body rotates on its axis every 23 hours and 56 minutes. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Earth.
That's incorrect. I will repeat the question for St. Petersburg Junior College. This celestial body rotates on its axis every 23 hours and 56 minutes. It has a diameter of about 4,200 miles. Its orbit is approximately 141 million miles from the sun, and it is the second closest planet to the Earth. Name this planet. Yes, Terry from St. Petersburg.
Mars.
Mars is correct for the toss-up. Here's your bonus question. Your first part for 10 points. How many moons does Mars have?
2.
That is correct for a possible 10 more. In July 1976, the first U.S. space probe landed on Mars. What is the name of this space vehicle?
Viking.
We will accept that.
More specific.
Could you be
Viking
more
one.
specific, please?
Viking 1.
Viking 1 is correct. You got 20 points on the bonus, and here we go with the toss-up for 10. What continental writer invented the literary form called the essay? Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Montesquieu.
That is incorrect. Florida Junior College. Yes, Frank from Florida Junior College.
Bacon.
That is incorrect. De Montaigne. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. What? This type of virus parasitizes a bacterial cell. What is it? Yes, Robin from St. Petersburg.
Bacteriophage.
That is correct. Here's your bonus question for 10 points on your first part. This type of RNA has relatively small molecules and is associated with amino acid attachment. What is it?
Transfer RNA.
That is correct for 10. For 10 more possible, at which organelle are proteins synthesized?
Ribosomes.
That is correct for 10. You got 20 on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. According to Greek mythology, Zeus created the first woman as a pest for mankind. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Pandora?
Pandora is correct for the toss-up. Here's your bonus for 10. What were the contents of Pandora's box?
Miseries and woes. And then hope. Finally.
Illness?
Judges, will we accept that?
Woe.
No, it's too specific.
It's too specific, so you don't get the 10 points. For your another possible 10, what made Pandora open the box?
Curiosity.
Curiosity is correct for 10. You got 10 on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. Both Generals Eisenhower and MacArthur reported to him during World War II as, yes, Dave from St. Petersburg.
Marshall.
Marshall is correct for the toss-up. Here's your bonus for 10 possible on the first part. Another famous Marshal, John Marshall, was Chief Justice when the Supreme Court established its right to declare laws unconstitutional. In what case was this principle established?
Okay, Marbury versus Madison.
That's correct for 10. A possible 10 more. In another case, during Justice Marshall's tenure, Congress's power to create the United States Bank was upheld. This case helped establish that federal power supersedes state power when conflict occurs. What was this case?
McCulloch versus Bank of Maryland.
That is correct for 10 points. You got 20 on the bonus. Here we go with a toss-up for 10 teams. Name the following individual in 1961. He was appointed Secretary of the Navy. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Stanton?
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question for St. Petersburg. Name the following individual. In 1961, he was appointed Secretary of the Navy by John F. Kennedy. He was born in Texas and resigned his Navy job to run for governor of Texas. He was seriously wounded when Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
John Connolly.
John Connolly is correct for the toss-up, and here's a 20-point bonus for you. In 1974, Connolly was indicted by a grand jury for accepting a bribe related to a certain farm product. The charges were later dropped. For 20 points, what was the product?
Milk.
Milk is correct for 20 on the bonus. Here we go with a toss-up for 10. There are 3 important examples of macromolecules in living organisms. Name them. Yes, David from Florida Junior College.
Proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids.
That is incorrect. St. Petersburg, do you have an answer? Yes, Robin from St. Petersburg.
Proteins, starches, and fats.
Judges?
Slightly-
No.
We won't accept that either. Nucleic acids, polysaccharides, and proteins. Here we go with a toss-up for 10. This German biochemist conducted exhaustive experiments to find a drug that would kill a destructive bacteria without harming the individual who hosted the bacteria. On experiment 606, the biochemist discovered a cure for syphilis. Name him. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Ehrlich.
Ehrlich is correct. Here we go with the 10-point first part toss-up bonus for you. Name the scientist associated with the discovery of penicillin.
Fleming.
Correct for 10. For 10 more. Name both the Canadian scientists credited with the isolation of insulin.
Smith and Jones.
No, Banting and Best. You got 10 points on the bonus. Here we go with a toss-up for 10. Name the man. He won the Congressional Medal of Honor in 1942. Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Audie Murphy.
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question for Florida Junior College. Name the man. He won the Congressional Medal of Honor in 1942. His father received the same decoration during the Civil War. He was named superintendent of West Point in 1919. He directed the invasion of Incheon, and in October 1944, he made good on his I shall... Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Douglas MacArthur.
Douglas MacArthur is correct. Here's your bonus, first part for 10. On which United States warship did MacArthur participate in the Japanese surrender ceremony in 1945?
Missouri.
That is correct for 10, a possible 10 more. For publicly suggesting that UN troops should invade the mainland of China, MacArthur was relieved of his command. Which president relieved him?
Harry S. Truman.
That is correct for 10 more. You got 20 on the bonus, a toss-up teams for 10 points. She was born in Kiev, Russia in 1898 and later moved to the United States. She served as Minister of Labor and Minister of Foreign Affairs before serving as Prime Minister of Israel. Yes, Robin from St. Petersburg.
Golda Meir.
That is correct for 10 points. Here's your bonus question for 20. He was Shah of Iran from 1941 to 1979 when the Iranian revolt led by Ayatollah Khomeini overthrew his government. Name him.
Reza Pahlavi.
That is correct for 20 points. A toss-up for 10. He invented a compound pulley. He was a successful military... Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Archimedes.
That is correct for the toss-up. Here's your bonus for 20 points. This 2nd century BC geographer calculated the circumference of the Earth with a maximum error of 11% to 12%. His measurements were not improved upon until the early modern period. Name him.
Eratosthenes.
Eratosthenes is correct for 20. Here we go with a toss-up for 10. What late Welsh poet wrote? Yes, Florida Junior College. Walter.
Dylan Thomas.
Dylan Thomas is correct. Here we go with a bonus. Name the authors of the following quotes. First for 10 points. These are the times that try men's souls.
Pain.
That is correct. For a possible 10 more. To err is human, to forgive divine.
Alexander Pope.
Alexander Pope is correct for 10. You got 20 on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. Walter Slezak has been quoted as saying that in the last act of a typical opera, the heroine keeps saying she is dying until we have almost given up hope that she will. In which opera does a poet, Rudolph, kneel beside... Yes, Terrence from St. Petersburg.
La Boheme.
That is correct for the toss-up. And here is your bonus. Identify the operas in which the following fates occur for 5 points each. First, the heroine mounts her horse, Grain, and rides into flames which are consuming the body of her beloved.
Say something.
Tristan und Isolde.
No, Götterdämmerung, or Twilight of the Gods. For 5 more, the heroine gives Alfredo her portrait, then dies of consumption in his arms.
That's La Boheme, I think.
La Boheme? No.
La Traviata. For 5 more points possible, the heroine is stabbed by her lover as crowds emerge from a bullfight.
Carmen.
Carmen, correct for 5. For 5 possible more, The heroine about to take poison changes her mind and stabs herself to death.
Aida.
That's incorrect. La Gioconda. You got 5 points for your bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. Algol, Alioth. Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Variable stars.
That is correct. Here we go with a bonus question and a chance for 20 on this one. If you were studying selenography, what would you be studying?
The moon.
That is correct. Here we go with a toss-up for 10. Who owns Greenland? Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Denmark.
Denmark is correct for 10 on the toss-up. Here's a bonus question for possible 20 points on this one. Name the owners of these other islands for 5. Pitcairn Island.
Great Britain.
That is correct. Another 5 possible. Wake Island.
United States.
That is correct for 5. For 5 more, the Azores.
Portugal.
You're correct for 15 so far. For 5 more, the Galapagos Islands.
Ecuador. Chile.
All right, you missed that one. You got 15. It's Ecuador. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 points, teams. The Greek term meaning form or mold, it is used to name... Yes, Robin from St. Petersburg.
Morph.
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question for Florida Junior College. The Greek term meaning form or mold. It is used to name the clear, colorless fluid component of vertebrate blood containing dissolved salts or proteins. What is this blood minus the cells called? Yes, David from Florida Junior College.
Plasma.
Plasma is correct. Here we go with a bonus question. Your first part for 10. Name the type of muscle in the vertebrate organ that propels the blood through the arteries.
The heart?
Judge,
We need to be more specific.
you need to be more specific.
Cardial muscles?
We will accept that. That is correct. For 10 more. Name the most abundant cells in blood.
Red.
By
Red
their
cells.
technical name.
We need the biological name.
Urocytes?
Urocytes?
That's incorrect. Erythrocytes. Here we go with the toss-up question for 10 points. What is the scientific term for the change in direction when waves travel from one kind of matter into another? Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Diffraction.
That's incorrect. Florida Junior College, do you have an answer? Yes, Jim from Florida Junior College.
Refraction.
Refraction is correct. Here we go with the bonus question, your first part for 10. What is the largest animal that has ever lived?
The blue whale.
That is correct for 10 more possible. Whales are divided into 2 major groups. Baleen whales comprise one group. What is the significant characteristic of baleen whales which distinguishes them from all other whales?
The filter in their mouth.
Correct.
We will not accept that. They have no teeth. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 points. This body organ is found in human beings and all animals with backbones. It produces a digestive juice, insulin, and glucose. Yes, Robin from St. Petersburg.
Pancreas.
Pancreas is correct for the toss-up. And here's your bonus question. 10 points on your first part. What law of physics, named after a French religious philosopher and mathematician, states that liquid in a vessel carries pressures equally in all directions?
Pascal's law.
That is correct for 10. Possible 10 more on this one. An American chemist. He won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1954 and the Nobel Prize for Peace in 1962 for his efforts to ban nuclear testing. Name him.
Linus Pauling.
That is correct. You got 20 on the bonus, a chance for 10 more on the toss-up teams. In what country does the Mackenzie River lay? Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Canada.
Canada is correct for 10. Here we go with a bonus question. For 5 points each, I'll name the river. You name the country it is in. First, for 5 points, Murray.
Ireland or Scotland? Scotland.
Ireland.
That's incorrect. Australia. For 5 more, Irrawaddy.
Burma.
That is correct for 5. Here we go with 5 more, the Luray.
France.
That is correct for 5 more, the Dnieper.
Somewhere around Egypt. Middle East. Germany.
Time is up. The USSR. You got 10 points on the bonus. Here we go with another toss-up for 10. Good luck, teams. He has been called the father of the Constitution. Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Thomas Jefferson.
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question. Walter from Florida Junior College.
James Madison?
James Madison is correct for 10. Here we go with your bonus. George McGovern was the 1972 presidential nominee of the Democratic Party. For 10 points, Who were the other two vice presidential candidates that year? 10 points each for the right answer.
Okay, ask you for the Republicans.
No, for the Republicans, it would be Agnew. And for the Democrats, it would be Thomas Eagleton.
All right, you got one correct for 10 points, Thomas Eagleton. Sergeant Shriver was the other one. Here we go with another toss-up teams for 10 points. Who is the king of Spain? Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
King Juan Carlos.
That is correct for the toss-up, and here's your bonus. In the 10th and 11th century, the Christians reconquered Spain. Spain had been divided into 7 competing kingdoms. Name 4 of the 7 kingdoms, 5 points each.
Okay, Iberia. Catalonia. Barcelona. And
The Basque.
the Basque.
Judge,
We'll accept one of those.
We will accept Catalonia. It's Navarre, Leon, Asturias, Aragon, Castile, and Valencia. Here we go. You got 5 points. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 teams. What name do we give to verse form in which a strain of exalted lyricism is directed to a single purpose and deals with a single theme of which the works... Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Paean?
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question for Florida Junior College. What name do we give to verse form in which a strain of exalted lyricism is directed to a single purpose and deals with a single theme of which the works of Pindar are a prime example? Yes, Jim from Florida Junior College.
Odes.
And ode is correct. Here we go with a bonus question for 5 points apiece. Identify the odes from which the following lines are taken. For 5 points first. Beauty is truth, truth, beauty. That is all ye know on earth and all ye need to know.
Ode on a Grecian urn.
That is correct. For 5 more possible. Forlorn. The very word is like a bell to toll me back from thee to my soul self.
Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
That is incorrect. Ode to a nightingale. For 5 more possible. The trumpet of a prophecy. O wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind?
Ode to the West Wind.
That is correct. You have 10 points so far. A chance for 5 more in this final part. To me, the meanest flower that blows can give thoughts that do often lie too deep for tears.
Ode to Billy Joe.
Wrong ode. Okay. You have 10 points. The answer to the last part was intimations of immortality from recollections of early childhood. Here we go with another toss-up for 10 teams. The Earth rotates on its axis once each 24 hours. What planet takes the longest period of... Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Pluto.
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question for St. Petersburg. The Earth rotates on its axis once each 24 hours. What planet takes the longest period of time to rotate on its axis? Yes, Terry from St. Petersburg.
Mercury.
That is incorrect. Venus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 teams. The current debate over creationism versus evolution has a historic precedent in the 1920s. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Scopes trial.
That is incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question for St. Petersburg. The current debate over creation versus evolution has a historic precedent in the 1920s. In the 1920s, a high school teacher challenged a state law that banned the teaching of evolution. Name the state in which the 1920s monkey trial was held. Yes, Robin from St. Petersburg.
Arkansas.
Repeat.
Arkansas.
Tennessee was the answer. We've come to the end of the first round in this championship match. We will give the scores right after we have our halftime activities.
The competition here today represents the second annual Florida Community College Brain Bowl. It also represents the 25th year of the community college system in the state of Florida. Today, Florida has 28 community colleges and 54 branch campuses. More than half of all of the students who finish our Florida universities with a baccalaureate degree began their education in a Florida community college. In 1981-82, over 350,000 students were enrolled in Florida's community colleges, and in addition to providing the first 2 years of a baccalaureate program, the community colleges are the major training force in occupational education in Florida. In the field of health education alone, in 1981-82, the community colleges produced over 14,000 certified or degreed health practitioners, while providing continuing education for some 35,000 health practitioners who are already on the job. Now, as we look at the next 25 years, it is apparent that the community colleges, like the universities and the public school system, must emphasize excellence. Last year, we put in place the legislative program for the college-level academic skills test. This test, administered at the end of the sophomore year to all college and university sophomores, is a measure of the acquisition of basic competencies in computation and communication. We hope that the use of this test will ensure that those students moving into their junior and senior years will be prepared to meet the challenges of the baccalaureate degree programs. America is in transition and Florida is in transition. As our basic industries change and entire new technologies come online, we must have a well-trained workforce of technicians and managers. The competitors that you see competing in this championship game today are representative of the quality leadership that public education must produce to meet the challenges of the next 2 decades.
Florida Junior College is a comprehensive community college serving the residents of Duval and Nassau counties in northeast Florida. The city of Jacksonville is a community experiencing tremendous growth in population, business, and industry. Florida Junior College, with 4 campuses located throughout the city, was authorized by the Florida legislature in 1963 and now serves the educational needs of nearly 80,000 students annually. Each of the college's contemporary campuses has a character as individual as the students who attend classes there. North Campus exists in harmony with a rural countryside. The campus provides a full range of programs in health sciences, as well as a traditional academic curriculum. The FJC baseball, track, and cross-country teams are headquartered here. Kent Campus, located in a stately older section of Jacksonville, offers programs in business, mid-management, home economics, and liberal arts. FJC's downtown campus, situated in the heart of the city, provides a full range of occupational, vocational, and technical courses, as well as a comprehensive academic program. The South Campus, located in a suburban neighborhood, is the home of FJC arts programs. Students may pursue a variety of degree options here, as well as certificate programs. The first college gymnasium is found at South Campus, providing a sports complex to house tennis, basketball, and golf teams. FJC helps students at all ages expand their personal and professional horizons with 3 degree programs and multiple certificate programs designed to provide educations and careers in 2 years or less. Let's meet the students who make up the Florida Junior College Brain Bowl team.
David Silva, tell us something about yourself, please.
I'm a second-year Brain Bowl member. I'm currently planning to major in computer science. I plan to go on to probably Florida, and I enjoy driving fast cars.
Frank Perry, tell us something about yourself and interests and activities, please.
Hello, I'm Frank Perry. This is my first year on Florida Junior College Brain Brawl team. And in high school, I was captain of my Brain Brawl team. And I plan to go to UNF and major in computer science.
Excellent. Walter, you're the team captain. Tell us something about yourself.
Okay, I was involved in the high school Brain Brawl competition, also involved in the first National Academic Super Bowl held in Jacksonville. I'm also a returning member of FJC's state championship Brain Bowl team. And I plan on majoring in political science and minoring in journalism. I'm not exactly sure which university I'm going to, but my major interest outside is film, and my major dream is to direct a film, a feature
Excellent.
film.
That's Walter Cavender, captain for the Florida Junior College team. Jim Freels, tell us something about your interests and activities, please.
Well, I'm also a returning Brain Bowl state champion from last year. I'm going to go to University of Florida and major in civil engineering and continue a career that I started several years ago in commercial diving.
Excellent. The alternate for the Florida Junior College team is Daniel Ryan. Dan, tell us something about yourself, please.
I'm a physics major. I plan to attend Florida State University this fall. I'm a member of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, and I'm a nominee for the Marshall Hamilton Scholarship.
The oldest 2-year college in the state, St. Petersburg Junior College, was founded in 1927. At that time, and for many years afterwards, its only location was in St. Petersburg. Today, however, the college serves Florida's central west coast with facilities throughout Pinellas County. in Tarpon Springs, Clearwater, Pinellas Park, and in St. Petersburg. Under the leadership of President Carl M. Cutler, Jr., the college has continued its emphasis on quality education, while at the same time expanding its facilities. In 1979, the legislature approved and the community voted for a $1/2 mil referendum, raising $4 million for needed repairs, providing up-to-date, well-equipped laboratories, attractive facilities, and to accommodate the handicapped, renovations and better equipment. Using these attractive facilities, more than 25,000 students study credit courses at SPJC each year. 58% preparing to continue their educations at senior universities, while the rest study 2-year or certificate programs such as electronic technology, computer science, and aviation. Also popular are the 11 medical programs housed at SPJC's new health education facility, including dental hygiene, optometric technician, emergency medical technology, and a paramedic program, and physical therapist assistant. Non-credit courses such as vocational refresher courses and scuba diving also attract thousands of the community each year. The public looks to SPJC for its college for kids, its special programs, and activities. With a dedicated and capable staff who not only guide students' academic progress, but also give extra time to such creative projects as painting murals and directing special drama groups, SPJC will continue its 56 years of excellence, serving the public far into the future. Now let's meet the team members of the St. Petersburg Junior College team.
Terry, give us some information about your activities and interests, please.
Not too much. Just in Phi Theta Kappa. And I plan to go to Florida State and get an MBA in international business.
And you like St. Petersburg Junior College, I'm sure.
A lot.
Bryan, tell us something about yourself, please.
I'm majoring in English, and I hope to attend Florida State next fall. And I want to go into the State Department.
That's interesting. Do you have any other hobbies or interests that you'd like to tell us about?
I've had years and years of foreign language, so I want to put it into use.
Well, that's a good idea. Robin, you're the team captain. Tell us something about yourself.
Well, I haven't decided what I want to major in, and I haven't decided what university I want to go to, but I'm headed somewhere in the fall, and I think I'm finally going to graduate from St. Pete Junior College.
Well, that's
after several years.
That's going to put a dent in the St. Petersburg team, I'm sure. David, tell us something about your activities.
Well, I'm probably going to the University of South Florida and study electrical engineering. I'd like to be a computer systems analyst. And probably the major portion of my time is taken up with being a father and a husband.
And the alternate for the St. Petersburg team is Stephanie Robbins. Stephanie, tell us something about yourself, please.
Well, I'm also in Phi Theta Kappa, and I'm in Army ROTC. And hopefully I will be attending the University of South Florida sometime in the near future, where I intend to major in international relations.
There are financial rewards at stake for the participants in this Brain Bowl competition. The winning team members will be offered scholarships from 5 state universities. Also, each member of the winning team receives $1,000. The second-place team members receive $500, and each regional winner receives $250. There are 2 silver Brain Bowl trophies, one for the school to keep and another traveling trophy. Each of the winning team's members also receives a plaque commemorating their victory, and a plaque goes to their school as well.
As the rules allow, there has been a halftime substitution for the Florida Junior College team, and joining the team is Daniel Ryan. We met him a little earlier. Daniel, welcome to the team. Now let's give you the scores. They've been checked, and they are St. Pete with a total of 295 points at the end of round 1. Florida Junior College with 285 points at the end of round 1. All right, teams, now we go into round 2 of this competition. The rules stay the same, and if the teams are ready, here's your first question in round 2. Good luck, teams. For 10 points, your toss-up. With more than 100,000 known species, they are the largest group of, yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Insects.
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question for Florida Junior College. With more than 100,000 known species, they are the largest group of water animals. They include the squid, clam, and oyster. Name the group. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Mollusca.
Mollis is correct. Here we go with the bonus question for you for 10 points for your first part. What part of the human body includes the hyoid bone and the uvula?
The human head, more specifically the mouth.
That is correct. For 10 more points. An explorer and naturalist, he was instrumental in establishing the natural forest system, and he founded the Sierra Club. Name him.
Muir?
That is correct. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 points, teams. What is the name of the famous collection of German folk tales, which includes... Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
The Nibelungenlied?
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question, St. Petersburg. What is the name of the famous collection of German folk tales, which includes Hansel and Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood, and Snow White? Yes, Terry from St. Petersburg.
The Grimm Brother fairy tales?
That is correct. Here we go with the bonus question for you, 10 points on each part. What were the first names of the Grimm brothers?
Jacob and Wilhelm.
That is correct for 20 points on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10.
I know the
It
Grimm
is
brothers.
south of Pennsylvania and both west and south of Delaware. Yes, Daniel from Florida Junior College.
Maryland.
Maryland is correct for the toss-up. Here we go with the bonus question. 20 points on this one. What is the name for the east-west line which separates Pennsylvania and Maryland?
The Mason-Dixon line.
You are correct for 20 points. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 teams. A noted orator of the 19th century, he gained his fame while supporting a strong national government. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
William Jennings Bryan?
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question for St. Petersburg. A noted orator of the 19th century, he gained his fame while supporting a strong national government when he said liberty and union, now and forever, one and inseparable. Name him. Yes, Terry from St. Petersburg.
Dobbs?
That's incorrect. Daniel Webster. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 teams. Identify the synoptic gospels. Yes, Robin from St. Petersburg.
The Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke.
That is correct for 10 points. And here's your bonus question. A chance for 20 on this one. 10 points for your first part. At which church council did Emperor Constantine declare that Christianity would become the formal religion of the Roman Empire?
Or Nicaea.
Say something.
Council of Nicaea.
That is correct for 10. For 10 more possible. What was the significance of the famous Concordat signed by Mussolini and Pope Pius XI in 1929?
Remain separate? That the Vatican City would not be considered part of Italy as a nation. It wouldn't come under the jurisdiction of the Italian government.
And would be given to whom?
And would be given to whom?
To the Roman Catholic Church.
That is correct for 10. You got 20 on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. A series of 3 plays called the Orestia was written by whom? Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Aeschylus?
Aeschylus is correct. Here is your bonus question. 5 points on each part of these. Give the author and then the names of the plays that compose the 3 Theban plays.
Is what I'm Antigone? Say something.
All right, time is up. Sophocles, Oedipus, Oedipus at Colonus, and Antigone. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. Even though he died in 1521, more than a year before the expedition he initially commanded returned to Spain. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Magellan?
Magellan is correct for the toss-up, and here's your bonus. First part for 10. In what continent is the Strait of Magellan located?
South America.
That's correct for 10. For 10 more. Which Spanish king financed Magellan's voyage?
Philip?
That's incorrect. Charles I. You got 10 on the bonus. A toss-up for 10. An English novelist. His real name was Eric Arthur Blair. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
George Orwell.
That is correct for the toss-up in 10 points. Here we go with a bonus question, a chance for 20 on each part, on both parts. First 10. Animal Farm satirizes what type of political and social system?
Marxism, in particular, Stalinism, Leninism, and Stalinism.
We will accept that. Okay, for 10 more. What was the title of Orwell's nonfiction work written in 1938, which was based on his brief career as a soldier?
Burmese Days?
That's incorrect. Homage to Catalonia. You got 10 points on the bonus. Here we go with a toss-up for 10. When he ran in 1952, Tip O'Neill took over the Massachusetts congressional seat from whom? Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Dirksen?
That's incorrect. St. Petersburg, do you have an answer? John F. Kennedy. Here we go with a toss-up for 10. This historic legal event took place in 13 segments from 1945 to 1949. The site was one of Germany's oldest cities. Some of the infamous persons involved Yes, David from Florida Junior College.
The Nuremberg trial.
That is correct for 10. Here we go with a bonus question, a chance for 20 points. For your 10-point first part, name the site of the truce talks which ended the Korean War.
Panmunjom?
That is correct. You just beat the bell on that one. For 10 more possible, the Warren Report deals with a significant event in American history. Name the event.
The assassination of John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
That is correct for 10 more. You got 20 on your bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 teams. An Italian humanist, this writer was captured by the court of Naples, smitten by the love of a lady he called Fiammetta. He wrote a series of influential romances. He is best known now for his selection of 100 tales he called the... Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Boccaccio.
That is correct. Here we go with a bonus question for you. For 10 points each part. Name these other Renaissance artists. First for 10, a sculptor whose bronze cast doors for the baptistry in Florence have been called the Gates of Paradise.
Brunelleschi?
That's incorrect. Gibert. For 10 points possible. Sculptor, goldsmith, poet, autobiographer, and self-confessed libertine. His most famous work is a salt cellar made for Francis I.
Cellini?
Cellini is correct for 10. Here we go with the toss-up and 10 more points, teams. It was the chief route to the American Northwest in the mid-1800s. Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail is correct for the toss-up. Here's your bonus for 10 points on your first part. Who was the first Republican ever elected president?
First Republican. Lincoln.
Lincoln is correct for 10. 10 more points. Who was Lincoln's first vice president?
Say something. Say something.
Johnson.
That's incorrect. Hannibal Hamlin. You got 10 points on the bonus. A toss-up for 10 teams. What is this body form in which right and left halves of organisms are appropriate? Yes, David from Florida Junior College.
Bilateral symmetry.
That is correct for the toss-up. And here's your bonus question. 10 points on the first part. A substance that on dissociation releases hydroxide ions is called what?
A base.
A base.
That is correct. For 10 more possible. This is the total weight of all organisms living in a particular habitat or place. What is it?
Gross weight.
That's incorrect. Biomass. You got 10 points on that bonus. A 10-point toss-up, teams. This war involving American forces include the Taylor and Scott campaigns and resulted in, yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Mexican-American War.
That is correct. Here we go with the bonus question. A chance for you to get 5 points in each part. First, what is the basic monetary unit of Mexico?
Peso. The peso.
That is correct for 5. For 5 more, what is the Mexican border town which is just south of El Paso?
Juarez.
That's correct. You have 10 so far. Chance for 5 more. What religion is practiced by the overwhelming majority of Mexican citizens?
Roman Catholicism.
That is correct. You got 15. Now a chance for 5 more points and 20 altogether. What 2 countries border Mexico to the south?
Nicaragua and Belize.
What?
Nicaragua and Belize.
Nicaragua and Belize.
You did not quite beat the buzzer. You had one of them wrong anyway. Guatemala and Belize. Here we go. You got 15 points on the bonus. A toss-up chance for 10. A major expansion of the cell theory was expressed by Virchow in 1855 with the following statement: omnis celluli. Yes, David from Florida Junior College.
All cells come from cells.
Yes. That is correct. Here's your bonus question, 10 points on your first part. What central key phenomenon in the reproduction of organisms was established by this aphorism?
Meiotic cell division, or mitosis.
We will accept that. Correct for 10. For 10 more. Name the 2 biologists that established the cell theory.
Hook and Boucher.
That's incorrect. Schleiden and Schwann. You got 10 points on your bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. Born in Sirte, he attended the Royal Military Academy in Benghazi. A Muslim, he began a cultural revolution, and in 1969, yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi is correct. Here we go with the bonus question, 10 points on each part. First, his French followers were the Huguenots. His work, Ecclesiastical Ordinances, established the structure of the Presbyterian form of church government. Who was he?
Say something.
John Knox.
That's incorrect, John Calvin. For 10 more possible. Its oldest scriptures are the Vedas, and both Buddhism and Jainism were originally schools of this religion. Name it.
Hinduism.
That is correct. Here we go with a toss-up for 10. The figure is mentioned in the Christian Bible. Muhammad also claimed the figure appeared to him. Name the figure. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Gabriel.
That is correct. Here we go with the bonus question. 10 points on each part. In what present-day nations did these ancient religious figures live? For 10 points, Zoroaster.
Persia or Iran.
That is correct. For 10 more possible, Muhammad.
Saudi Arabia.
That is correct. You got 20 on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 teams. Composer of many of the most popular songs of his time in America. He died at age 38 in the charity. Yes, Terrence from St. Petersburg.
Gershwin?
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question for Florida Junior College. Composer of many of the most popular songs of his time in America. He died at age 38 in the charity ward of a New York City hospital in 1864. Identify this composer of Genie with the light brown. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Stephen Foster.
That is correct. Here we go with the bonus question. Winners we often remember, losers we often forget. Give the name of the commanding officer at each of these North American battles who was defeated. For 10 points first, in the War for Texas Independence, he lost to Sam Houston at San Jacinto and was captured.
Santa Ana.
That is correct. For 10 more points, in trying to take Richmond in 1862, he lost to Lee at the Battle of Fredericksburg. His losses were twice that of Lee.
Hooker.
That's incorrect. Santa Ana was correct for the first. You got 10 points on that. McClellan was the right answer for the second. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 points. He amassed one of the earliest encyclopedias ever assembled. His encyclopedia included men. Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Pliny?
That is correct for the toss-up. Here's your bonus question. Name these two other Roman science writers. First for 10 points. The author of Almagest, or the great system of astronomy, in which the Earth is placed at the center of the universe.
Ptolemy.
Ptolemy is correct. For 10 more points possible, he was the physician for Marcus Aurelius. His encyclopedia of medicine was the standard until the Middle Ages.
Galen.
Galen is correct. You got 20 on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. His real name was Jean-Baptiste Piquelin, but we know him best by his stage name. Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Rousseau.
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Moliere.
Moliere is correct for the toss-up. Here we go with the bonus. For 10 points, your first part. After defecting from Russia in 1961, he joined England's Royal Ballet and won praise for his performances with Dame Margot Fontaine. Who is he?
Nureyev.
Correct for 10. For 10 more. What is the smallest and highest pitched of the double reed instruments?
Piccolo.
That's incorrect. Oboe. You got 10 on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 teams. What is the name for the medical specialty which deals with the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of children's... Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Pediatrics.
Pediatrics. If you're a father, you would know that one. Here we go with the bonus question. 5 points each on these. Name the medical specialties described as follows. First, for 5, the surgical treatment of diseases of the heart, lungs, or large blood vessels in the chest.
Cardiology.
That is incorrect. Thoracic surgery is what we were looking for. For your second one for 5, the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of eye diseases.
Ophthalmology.
Ophthalmology is correct for 5. For your third one, and 5 points, the diagnosis and treatment of ear, nose, and throat diseases.
Otolaryngology.
That is correct. You have 10 points so far. A chance for 5 more and 15 altogether. The study of changes in the body that cause disease or are caused by disease.
Pathology?
Pathology is correct.
Okay.
Here we go with the toss-up question teams worth 10. What kind of numbers belong to the domain of the logarithm function so that its graph is continuous within the domain? Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
The real numbers?
Positive or real numbers is correct. Here we go with the bonus question. First part for 10. What is the sign of the logarithm of a number between 0 and 1?
Negative.
Correct. For 10 more. What is the logarithm of 8 to the base 4?
2.
That is incorrect. 3 halves. Here we go. You got 10 points on the bonus. A 10-point toss-up question, teams. What is the musical term meaning fast and lively? Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Allegro.
Allegro, yes. Your bonus question, provide the musical term which fits each of the following descriptions. 5 points apiece. First, for 5, a series of tones played quickly, one right after the other.
Staccato.
That's incorrect. Arpeggio. For 5 more points, growing louder.
Accelerando.
Crescendo. For 5 more possible, plucking the strings of a violin or other boat. That is, repeat?
Pizzicato.
Pizzicato is correct.
I have to accept the first answer we heard.
He said, what did he say first? Staccato? Staccato is not accepted. Pizzicato is correct. So you do not get any points for that. We must go with the first answer heard. For 5 more points possible, a sign that fixes the positions of certain notes on the lines and spaces of the staff.
The clef.
The clef is correct. You got 5 on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. He was born in 1483. By 1505, he had become an Austrian monk. In 1508, he lectured at the University of Wittenberg. Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Martin Luther.
Martin Luther is correct for the toss-up. Here we go with the bonus. Name the country of origin of these religious leaders associated with the Reformation. 5 points apiece. First for 5, John Calvin.
Switzerland.
France. For 5 more, Zwingli.
Switzerland.
That is correct for 5. Robert Brown for the third.
England or Scotland? England.
England is correct. You have 10 so far. John Huss.
Bohemia.
That is correct. You got 15 on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. Name the author of The Jew of Malta, Tamburlaine, and Yes, Florida Junior College, Walter.
Christopher Marlowe.
Christopher Marlowe is correct for the toss-up. Here we go with the bonus for 10. Who wrote The Spanish Tragedy?
Ben Jonson.
That's incorrect. Thomas Kidd. For 10 more possible. Who wrote Every Man and His Humor?
Ben Jonson.
Ben Jonson is correct for 10. You got 10 on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 teams. Who were the 2 men who served as Secretary of State during Richard Nixon's presidency? Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Hart and Henry Kissinger.
That is incorrect. St. Petersburg, do you have an answer? Yes, Terry from St. Petersburg.
Rogers and Kissinger.
That is correct for the toss-up. Here we go with the bonus question. Who were the 4 attorney generals who served during Nixon's tenure? 5 points apiece for each one.
That's a bad one. Mitchell was one.
Mitchell.
Correct for 1.
John Kleinschmidt.
Richardson.
All right, you got 1 correct for 5 points. Richard Kleindienst, Elliot Richardson, and William Saxby. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 teams. How many counties are there in Florida? Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
64.
That is incorrect. St. Petersburg. Yes, Terry from St. Petersburg.
63.
That is incorrect. 67. Here we go with another toss-up for 10 teams. This Roman poet, sorry, Commissioner. This Roman poet argued that death was not to be feared since all things were simply a random arrangement of atoms and death was just a process of rearrangement. His views are put forth. Yes, David from St. Petersburg.
Epictetus.
That's incorrect. You get a penalty. I'll repeat the question. This Roman poet argued that death was not to be feared since all things were simply a random arrangement of atoms and death was just a process of rearrangement. His views are put forth in De Rerum Natura. Yes, Jim from Florida Junior College.
Lucretius.
That is correct for the toss-up. Here is your bonus. 5 points for each correct answer on these. Name these other Roman poets. First for 5, the author of Lives.
Plutarch.
That is correct for 5. For 5 more, the author of the Aeneid.
Virgil.
That is correct for 10. For 5 more, the author of Metamorphosis.
Ovid.
That is correct for 15. For 5 more, the author of the History of Rome.
Livy.
That is correct. You got 20 on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 teams. Oh, what a marvel it appeared to me when I beheld 3 faces on his head. The one in front, and that vermilion was. 2 were the others that were joined with this above the middle part of either shoulder. And they were joined together at the crest, and the right hand one seemed twixt white and yellow. The left was such to look upon as those who came from where the Nile falls valleyward. What, 14th century? Yes, Terry from St. Petersburg.
Dante Alighieri.
That is correct for the toss-up. Here's your bonus for 10 first. What is the name of the complete poem from which these lines come?
The Divine Comedy, Commedia Divina.
That is correct. For 10 more possible, what part of the Divine Comedy do these lines come?
Inferno. Inferno.
That is correct. You got 20 on the bonus. Here we go with the toss-up for 10 teams. What political office did all these men hold? John Diefenbacher, Lester Pearson, Joe Clark, Pierre Trudeau. Yes, Walter from Florida Junior College.
Prime Minister of Canada.
That is correct. Here's your bonus question. 5 points for each answer. Beginning with President Reagan's vice president name, the last 4 U.S. vice presidents in order from the most recent to the earliest.
George Bush, Walter Mondale, Nelson, Dole, then Rockefeller.
That is incorrect. The last 2 were Rockefeller and Ford. You got the first 2, Bush-Mondale, for 10 points. Here we go with the toss-up for 10. What part of the brain is the seat of such emotions as fear and anger and controls body temperature, hunger, thirst? Yes, Daniel from Florida Junior College.
The hypothalamus.
That is correct for the toss-up. Here's your bonus. Be careful on this one. They're varied points. For 5 points for your first part, what part of the brain is the largest?
Cortex.
Cerebral cortex.
Judge, we will not accept that. The cerebrum. For 5 more, what is the name of the thin carpet of nerves which covers the cerebrum?
Gray matter?
That's incorrect. Cerebral cortex. For 10 points on your last part, the brain continually gives off small waves of electricity. What device using wires attached to the scalp is used by physicians to measure these waves?
Electroencephalogram.
That is correct. We've come to the end of the round. We'll check the scores and have them for you in just one moment.
we've been watching some very bright Floridians in active competition. But what we've really been seeing through them is the future of Florida. That future is going to be written in the lives of young men and women who are trained to be fully competitive, not just in a brain bowl here today, but in the life of a highly dynamic, technological, changing society, a world in which they will be living. That future is going to be written in the lives of men and women who will come back to our educational institutions, such as those from which these students are currently coming to participate today, to learn the skills that will allow them to continue to be fully functioning, prosperous, and contributing members of our society. That future is going to be written in a state which is committed to national excellence in education. Florida is very fortunate in terms of what we have been given by God. We have a beautiful state. We have many beautiful communities. What we need in order to fully realize on our potential is an education system second to none in America. That is what we are committed to do. We have a goal. It is an important threshold towards that goal of national excellence in education. By 1986, we want to see Florida schools, from our kindergartens through our high schools, our community colleges, and our universities, in the top 12 terms of resources committed and the performance of our students. That is an extremely challenging goal. It's a goal with great potential impact on our state. It is an attainable goal. It is a contribution, a legacy that this generation of Floridians can make to a better future for all Floridians. I know that many, many millions of Floridians understand the importance of that goal, and they share the enthusiasm for its attainment. 1983 will be a key year in seeing that we place our state in the position to ride a rocket of excellence to the orbit that our state has waiting for it, of national supremacy in the quality of life of our people, in the economic opportunities for self-fulfillment for all Floridians, in a state which is worthy of all those things that we have been given.
We've come to the end of round 2 of this very exciting championship match, and the scores are St. Petersburg with a total of 540 points. Florida Junior College is the new Brain Brawl champion with 660 points. One of St. Petersburg's answers on a bonus question, which gave them 5 points on the Richardson answer that they gave. Here to present the trophies to our winning schools and to congratulate both schools is Commissioner of Education of Florida, Ralph Turlington.
It is my honor to present to the runner-up team, St. Petersburg Junior College, and to their captain, Captain Robin Moseley, for a very fine job, the runner-up trophy for the 1983 Community College Brain Bowl. And for the winner and still champion of the Florida Community College Brain Bowl for Jacksonville Community College, the Commissioner's Trophy. Congratulations to you.
For many American teenagers, science means boring.